Yakuza 0 is a crime and capitalism focused beat-em-up where you can do the Harambe, create the IRS, then fight the IRS and lose. You can manage property, be a pimp, or watch the complimentary porn. In the backdrop of a murder mystery soap opera incited by a parking space, we play as Kazuma Kiryu and Goro Majima as they roam the streets of southern New Jersey, violently figuring out the power struggle taking place within the Daigo fan club. I can only describe the game as next-shatteringly dissonant in a way that is strangely quite refreshing. That out of the way, I welcome you to the strange world of Yakuza 0 and the copious amount of its really good B-track. 傷ついて全て失っちまっても染まっちゃならねえそれこそが Justice for breaking the law breaking the law 壊せThe game opens up with a Persona 5 reference, which leads to us being framed for murder. I don't blame them. Kiryu then proceeds to prove his innocence by crushing people into dust with 4 exceptionally fun and violent ways of introducing people to the Medicare system. Playing as Kiryu, our fighting styles consist of the Brawler, a generic fast-paced fighting style that gets the job done. Next up is Rush style. You become a caffeinated pit bull where you dodge fast and hit hard, and either get a migraine from dying constantly or become the second coming of Kratos. And Beast mode. I don't have a better way to explain it than just to name it alone. It's really violent, just like the next character. 素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そう二人でステップアンドゴーいつまでも深夜12時を過ぎた敵には僕の愛しい24時間シンデレラAfter switching to our next character, Goro Majima comes with a 30-day trial of assault. As a thug, we can do the shaker and fucking obtain the essence of cervical fracture. Keep in mind that you don't kill anybody. As a breakdancer, we trade reliable fight-ending moves for style, in possibly the coolest and flashiest way. I'm using this motherfucker like a stripping pole, and then we cheat by pulling out a baseball bat and using it like fucking nunchucks, letting us atomize people faster and transform into stun mechanic. We can't do anything! On top of this, we are a wage slave trapped inside a town under constant surveillance after months of torture because we had a scheduling error and couldn't make it to the Cayo Perico house. While we don't kill people, we fucking murder the disco. There are 2 secret fighting styles completely inaccessible to the player, and unfortunately, acquiring them requires an attention span. As early as Chapter 7, you can start sniping out brothels for ungodly profit, and Majima is concerningly enthusiastic about this. We'll have to run our cabaret clubs good enough to disrupt the tax evasion processes of business magnates over the span of 20 hours. Despite the public consensus, women are not objects. However, we still have to inventory them. Our path to profit is to keep the customer as happy as possible by balancing our stockpile of hostesses. Some girls are cuter, others are good at speaking, and some have skills. Yuki is a Boeing technician. As a proper host, it's up to you to attend to every customer's need, whether it's a simple drink or goons from rival cabaret clubs. Every time you wait a table, you'll wish you'll learn sign language, because your employees give you a hand signal which tells you what the customer wants. What the fuck does that even mean? And on top of that, the tables come preloaded with flashbangs, so good luck leaving. After nearly a full day of the grind, this layout and this song remind me that I'm here to hurt people. Our reward for working an in-game 9 to 5 is the Mad Dog style, in which you wield a knife and teleport behind people. Stabbing your foes with more force than a truck on a playground, playing with a knife is an experience I can only recommend once. So when I found out that unlocking the other secret style needed you to play a real estate simulator for 12 hours, I promptly touched grass. Until I found out it's the AFK fish farm in this game, and finally went to bed. This game always manages to surprise you. You can go from protecting a blind woman from assassins, then end up playing a claw machine for 4 hours. One of the more realistic aspects is the fact that you never have enough money, which kinda sucks for a game where you get physically stronger with the more money you have. How can we remedy this? Gambling. It's up to you to choose which type you want to do. You could bet on half-naked women fighting each other, or you could play board games. Fuck bingo, we got eels and escalators. But that's because Kiryu is a broke-ass motherfucker only getting property tax, while Majima is stacked from the whore-maxing grind. We can easily obtain quintuple the amount of money the game's plot revolves around by using these. With that money, you can go bowling, in which you win a chicken that is now your accountant. My personal favorite minigames are the disco and karaoke. You can sing your heart out in F sharp. Most of the songs hit harder than the OST that was built into the game. There are some more interesting minigames, like the phone dating, where you have to answer questions with a gun. You need to be precise with it though, or else you lose any chances you have after inviting a woman to assault people. Speaking of assault, fighting Kuze is a minigame in and of itself. You fight him 5 times throughout. Restraining orders are a suggestion to this man. Moving on. I'm not done yet, as what I mentioned is literally only 1% of all side content. There are more optional side quests than there are story progressing chapters, and somehow they all hold entertainment value and unique stories. These range from dismantling a cult to delivering pizza. You could even follow a child around the city. One quest I had to help Miracle Johnson physically abuse his employees, and right after that I infiltrated Waco and gave their leader a neurocranial adjustment. There's only a handful of these that don't end in bloodshed or profit. Speaking of which, have you seen this man? No. That sucks, cause he's already seen you. This is Mr. Shakedown, and if you lose to him, you lose all of your money. Yes, all of it. But if you find him and introduce him to the concept of income tax, you will get everything back, plus 15% from his wallet, which he bitches about. Also, there are 4 of him, each having their own goals, ranging from hair implants to godlike ascension. Just as the optional bosses have goals, each story boss is just as motivated to get their own goals. Awano is really horny and likes Idolmaster. Shibusawa is fighting for total control of the clan, and Kuze is out for blood, yours specifically. Outside of those 3, most of them are there for character development, like Nishitani, who is the fucking Joker, but despite their role, each boss has their own reasons to be there, which is mainly money. Sarah wants the Tojo clan, all of it, and explains to Majima why he can't just kill people, who looks either cool or normal, is Chinese, and is the reason the events in Yakuza started. Every little bit of Yakuza, from the minigames to the characters, leaves a mark somewhere in the story, unless it's a bullet. Bitches get right back up like they can't afford healthcare. I went into Yakuza thinking that it's all just silly shenanigans and cool fights, but I was blown away by how true to life it felt. It doesn't cover realistic scenarios or everyday problems, but you get that in-the-moment feeling while you're playing. At the beginning of this game, Kiryu and Majima are just cool guys getting into fights and acting tough, but after exploring the characters' lives, just playing as them, I realized that Yakuza at its core is just as close to a slice of life as it is about action. with just about every emotion out there, from happiness to sadness to outright confusion. The random encounters are never annoying. Most of the time they're funny, cathartic, real, or just fucking awesome. The endless side quests don't feel forced and never get boring. Every mission, cutscene, chapter is a fully unique experience. When I first played, I thought that Yakuza was just full of filler, and it felt chaotic. It is chaotic in the best ways possible. Thank you for watching, and you should buy this game.